Is it visible? Can you please confirm me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to present this trending topic, that is automation testing. So uh, how we are going to cover this is like, first I will tell some theoretical part about this topic. Then we will see a small demo where I will show you the actual framework that I have made for a particular project. So let's start. So first of all, what is automation testing? So automation testing is nothing but like using different tools, different technologies to automate our test cases. So what are the benefits uh, of this type of testing is that we don't need to perform the test cases that are more complex in nature to perform them manually. So also, we can have different suits. We can make suits. So those ready-made suits can be run at any time of the day, and we can also schedule our test cases to run to for any at any time of the day. Like if we schedule that my test case should run in every hour or every 24 hour or 48 hour, like this I can schedule my timing also. So for that, this type of testing is very helpful. So we are having constant like we are having our constant reporting for our projects. And other one is that if we have multiple test data, so it is very like complex to enter the test data that is that is of different nature. Like there are valid data, there is invalid data. So to cover all those scenarios, we can use this framework. And the ultimate goal of this particular type of testing is to reduce the human effort to run the test cases that are like very repetitive in nature. So but this can't eliminate the manual testing. And so let me move to this next slide. So we have different types of tool. The most used tool is the selenium, because it is the open source and it is the most reliable tool up till now, because it supports all our another tool is the APM. APM tool is used for the mobile application. Like if we want to automate our test cases for the mobile application, then we have the APM with us, and we use APM server in this. But as we know nowadays, our application are more based on React and Angular. So there are many synchronization issues in the Selenium. So for to counter those issues, we have a new tool in the market, that is Cypress. But in Cypress, we have it is a JavaScript based tool. So we have to have the knowledge of JavaScript in order to uh, work on this tool. But also there is one limitation in Cypress, is that we are only limited to the Chrome browser. We don't have the flexibility to run our test cases on different browser like Mozilla, Firefox, Safari, and Microsoft Edge. So that can only be done. And how this tool is used So this tool is like it is a paid tool, and around $1,000 need to be paid in order to uh, use this tool. So, but this tool is a low code or no code uh, tool, because here we can just perform the operation, and all our steps will be recorded in the tools, and then whenever we want, we can just run our test and it will run. And it covers all types of application like desktop, web, mobile application. So Renorex tool is also a good tool. So moving to the next slide. So talking about our framework, so there are four basic components of our framework. That is Selenium, that is used to communicate with the remote web drivers, and we have Maven with us, that is a build automation tool. And then we have TestNG, that is the testing framework, and the external data source. So in external data source, we can include our Excel sheets, JSON files, CSV, whatever, in whichever format we are having the data, we can use them. So first of all, we how this majorly I will talk about the Selenium, and how this Selenium work is like whenever we trigger our test from our IDE, so it converts all our data into a JSON format, and then that JSON file or JSON data is sent to the browser drivers in through HTTP protocols, and then those browser drivers that they transfer those JSON data to the remote browser drivers, because we are using WebDriver, which is an interface, and that interface contains all type of browsers. So we just need to give a command like which browser we need to initialize, and it automatically handles all the process. And once the JSON data is transferred to the remote browser driver, they gives us the response again in the form of JSONs only, and then that JSON is interpreted by the Selenium tool, and we get the response as our output. So this is whole architecture, like how the Selenium you Selenium uses in order to communicate with the remote web driver. Now moving towards the next slide. Uh, Now, talking about this test data driven framework. So, majorly, as the name suggests, test data. So, we have the data in the form of our external sources, like they may be in form of JSON, they may be in the form of CSV, Excel, uh, anything. So, what this framework does, it fetches the data from that particular file, and then it just execute with the help of data provider that we have with us, that is provided by the TestNG framework. And then we just have our expected and actual result with us, and we, with the help of coding, we just compare all those expected and actual results, and uh, if they are true, then we mark it as a pass, otherwise it fails. And if there are like hundreds of data, or maybe thousands of data, then we need to reiterate that uh, we need to reiterate those test cases for different data sets. So for this, we can use this type of data, this type of test data driven framework. And ultimately, when our test case is completed, then we can generate a report in which we can have how many test cases total, how many test cases we have executed, and which one which one failed, which one passed, and what are the errors that we were facing, and how much time did it require to to execute that particular test case. All these things can be logged in a particular report, and we call it as the extent report in the framework. So moving to the next slide now. So as we know that every language have its own build automation tool. So Maven is one of the build automation tool that is of Java, and it helps us to structure our framework in a systematic manner. Like it provides us the different layers, like we have page layers, we have test layers, so we can uh, easily manage our framework. And once everything is passed, then we can also create a war file which can be deployed in the server once all the test cases are passed. So it generally help us when we have a CI/CD type environment with us. So we can use this. We can use the capability of Maven more more of efficiently. So and we also have the pom.xml file with us in Maven. So if we have any dependencies, we can we can just mention those dependency in pom.xml. It will automatically fetch the latest version of that dependency um, in our framework itself. And for this, we can use the Maven repositories. Now, talking about the TestNG. So, TestNG is basically a testing framework that have different types of annotations. So, these annotations help us to execute the test cases in a systematic manner and in the way we like we have at the rate test. Whenever we give the annotation at the rate test, it marks the test as it is ready to be executed. So the method that is having at the rate test with them are counted as the one test. And when we provide before suit or after suit, then it is we are saying that execute these test cases before executing anything, before executing test case. Suppose we have a test case that is dependent upon the database, so we just want first to be connected to the database, then we have to start our test case. So in that case, we can use that after suit or before suit with in this. And then next is the before test and after test. So sometimes there are multiple test cases that are dependent on each other. So before running one test case, we need to run the test case that is dependent upon this other one. So we can like uh, give the command that run uh, give the command like before test, run this test. After that, you can run this type of test. So by giving at the rate before test and after it after test, we can execute our test cases. We have more control on our test case with with these annotation. Then we have before class and after class. As we know that every we code in our class. We have classes and objects with us. It's the oops concept. So before any class is executed, we can run any particular operation that we want, and for that we can use these type of annotation like at the rate before class or after class. Then we have before method and after method. Like in JavaScript, we have functions. Here in Java, we have methods. So before executing any method, we can say that before opening before starting the test, please open the Chrome browser or initialize the Chrome browser. So for these type of things, we can use the before method, and after method can be used if we want to close the browser. If our test case is complete, then we can give the command after method where we can tell the browser to quit once the operation is finished. Then next is the data provider. So that this data provider is the heart of test data driven framework, where We take all the data and execute in the structural manner with the help of this data provider. So we will see where I have used all these things. So let's have some let's have some small demo. Before like showing this demo, if you have any like query, then you can ask. Otherwise, we will move forward. Okay. So as we see that we I have implemented this framework in our one of our website that is already live now. That is the curly ways in which I have implemented this framework. And in this we can see that we have multiple divisions, like we have main, we have test, we have test resources packages with us. So here in this package we can have our base classes where we can like initialize all our browser file, like we if we want to execute them in Chrome, if we want to execute them in Edge, Firefox, like this we can initialize all the browsers. uh, and then we have the data package. In data package we store all the like all the files in from which we have to take the data. So here we can have the JSON with us, we can have Excel sheet with us, we can have CSV, whatever it is. We can just have this all those like files in this package. The next package is the page layer. In the page layer, as we know, in website have different pages like checkout page, we have collection page, we have home page, login page. So in every page we have different elements. So in order to store all those element, we have we need to like have all those elements in one place. To have all those in one place, we can make these different classes. And here we have used the page factory, which is a type of page object model. We generally refer it as the page of this structure is a page object model where we use the page factory. What this page factory does is it initializes all the elements in the while the page is being loaded or it is fully loaded. It like uh, initialize all the elements at once. Elements, I mean, by elements I mean like if we have submit button, then we have certain we have given some name to them, or we have CSS selectors with them, we have some classes with them. Like here I have used the class. So this page factory help us to initialize all those elements in one go only, so that in future we can although we can use all these elements in our test. So this is the page layer where we keep all the elements. Then comes the utilities part. Here in utilities part, where we have the codes that are that we need to use, like we have Excel with us. For example, we have Excel with us to get to fetch the data from. So we can use this. We have to have some Excel code with us so that we can like fetch the data from the Excel file. So to separate our Excel code with other codes, we can use this utility package. Here we can keep all our codes. Like I have the extend report with me, so uh, I have used I have used the uh, extent report. So here I have written the code for extent report, and that too in separate class. So it is in a very structural manner. I have used a very structured way so that in future, if there are any changes, it would be easy for me to change. Then we have test layer with us. In this package, we use all the elements that we have stored in these pages, and we can call all those elements with the help of objects that we make here. So we can, with the help of this, we can give the data from, like, your data is independent of the code. Like, you don't need to I have hard coded here, but we can also store all these things in the Excel, and there we just need to execute the test case, and it will automatically fetch all these data with ease. So like this, we have different classes that deals with different types of test cases. Like for create account, we can have different test cases with different data sets. For login, we can have different test cases with different data sets. Like if we have valid, invalid, or uh, give if we give any invalid input, or we don't give any input, like in email field, if we don't give provide email field, then whether it is giving us a proper error or not. So all these things can be tested with the help of this. So here we can see that I have used the data provider. So here what data provider is doing, it is fetching all the data that I have stored in the Excel sheet. So let me show you my Excel sheet here. So this is my Excel sheet. Here I have stored all my credential. Here I have uh, like given the command, like for valid, take the data of this row. For invalid, take the data from this row. For the invalid password, take the data from this row. Like this, we have like this. I have stored all the credential, and with the help of data provider, we are fetching all those data in this test case. Now, moving forward, we have test resources with us. Here we keep all the files that we need to pass. If we want to, like, for API, we have different types of authorization. One of which is bearer token, for which we need to be more conscious. Like it need not be shared in the Git repository, so we can give all those secure information here, and just uh, mention this file in git ignore. So whenever we push our data in the git repository, it will not go with it, and we can use it when we need it more securely. So now moving forward, we have different folders here. We have logs, where we can see all the logs, and then we have the test output files, where once our test is completed, then we will have all our screenshots where our test case got failed. So all those screenshot will be stored in this test output files, and also we will have our test report here. So quickly, I will show you some test cases that we can run. So here I have mentioned that run the test case that are related to the login test, and that are related to the add product to cart. So let me run this test. So, like this, there are around 8 test cases with different data sets. Once all those test cases are passed, then we will have a report with us. Currently, we can see that we I have not like given the command in the after method to close the Chrome browser. That's why it is not closing right now. But we can give that command. So after our test, that Chrome browser will be closed. And we can also have the Chrome browser to run in the headless mode, like it will not open the Chrome browser at all. It will just run the test. Generally, we use that only, but for demonstration purposes, I'm using this. So there are around 8 test cases. So this is the final page till which I can reach, because after that I have to give the payment information that I don't have with me. Think this is the last test case. Okay, so as we can see that all the test cases are completed. I think one more is to go. Okay, now it is completed. So here we can see that total there were 8 test cases, and out of them, 6 got pass and 2 were failed. So if we want to know what was the reason for that, we can just refresh this. So here we are seeing that we have generated report with us. Let me open this. So there were five there were 5 test cases that were related to the login, and 3 were related to the add to cart. So out of that, one is failed because of some element click element click intercepted. This means that the page was not fully loaded, but Selenium was trying to click on any particular element, and that was not present at that time. So it was not able to identify that particular element. So it got failed. So these type of test cases are called the flaky test case, and they generally fail on the one go, but they pass when we run one another time. Then this one failed because like page was again, it was not fully loaded, so that's why Selenium was not able to like locate that particular element. So there is a high chance if I run these test cases again, then they all will get passed. So here we can see it is showing us the image also where it got passed. Maybe it was not able to like take this element 138 that I have like I have given the uh, uh, class for. Maybe class was not initialized at that time. That's why here also here it got failed. We can see that it was not able to close that particular dialog. So like this we can like have multiple test cases with us. So like this only we have APM with us, and in APM also we can use the same uh, framework and use the same coding. uh, the different just there is a difference of like annotation. Here we use the Android drivers, and if we have the iOS, then we have the iOS drivers. So that's it for the demonstration purpose. Now moving back to our PPT. So uh, as we have seen that there were few test cases that got failed. So this tells us that we have limitations with us. Like maybe there is a chance that the the class that we have given that was changed in future, or it is because of any requirement changes, that class is not no longer available there. So we need to like keep our automation suite very updated. We need to update it in regular interval, and also we cannot test the user experience of with the help of Selenium, because it requires the human judgment, and also if we it cannot judge about the alignment issues of any particular uh, element, because it is not able to it don't have the ability to judge like a human have. And then we need a very stable environment with us in order to run our test cases, because if there are any network issues or something like that, then they may then this test may be not that efficient. And then we have real time, and if we have any real time data or dynamic content that changes frequently, then then also we can have some challenges to do this type of testing. So this is the test data driven framework from my side. So if you have any query, then you can ask. Otherwise, we will wrap up.
Okay. Uh, I guess Anshul, everyone is good at their end, and I hope there is no questions at all right now. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Anshul.
Okay. Thank you, Shreya.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.